The Bitcoin bulls just gave back one whole week of bullish price action in a matter of hours. Now, this might not look like much, but the bears have taken back ground in a massive, massive way. So bad that we could be looking at a move back down to $20,000. What's that song from Green Day? The one, what is it? Wake Me Up When October Ends? Was it October? Or was it September? September. But you know what? Freaking throw an October in there too. I mean, just look at this nonsense. What the hell is going on, Bitcoin? But anywho, welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin analysis video. What has happened? Well, Bitcoin has dumped. Now, this was a very important candle close. As I had mentioned in my last video, I said October 12th. That open of October 12th is essentially going to tell us whether the Bitcoin bulls were ready to take this up to $30,000. But now, not only did they fail to give us a good close, but in addition to that, we've actually lost some critical levels to an extent wherein if the bulls fail to step in right here, right now, we could actually see another move to the downside. I'm talking about another 20% dump to the downside. All right, so this zone, I'm literally talking about this current zone that Bitcoin is sitting on right now, needs to get defended. All right, because if we break, that's when the floodgates open up and down, down, down we go. But of course, if you're a bear, you must be very happy with this price action. Congratulations for anyone who well shorted the top. So today's video is going to be about that key level that Bitcoin needs to bounce at. Okay, so because if you're someone looking to bid Bitcoin at a lower price, you know exactly when to expect that move to the downside and what are the possible targets that you ought to be gunning for. Okay, so we're going to be talking about those downside targets as well as what's going to really initiate that next dump to the downside. Now, before we jump into the analysis, guys, just a bit of housekeeping that I want to go over. The Mango Sprouts program, guys, Module 3 drops this week, okay? This one is going to be on understanding market movements and market types. So that drops this week. I will be shooting you guys an email as soon as I hit publish. All right, so 1 and 2 is already out. Now, for those of you who are in the program, guys, you have this massive early bird advantage, okay? Besides the 50% off, you guys get to shape the future modules in this program. So if there's any concept that you want to learn, please don't be shy. Don't feel intimidated. Don't feel like, okay, you don't know enough, so you're not sure if you should even approach me. No, none of that. This program is about you, to prepare you for the bull run. Because I can't tell you just how many people we've come across throughout our entire trading journey who made life-changing amounts of money riding the bull run, but only to give it back to the market because they didn't know when it was time to take profits off the table when the markets were reversing. Right? So these are all concepts that you can learn. Ultimately, guys, what is luck? Luck is when opportunity meets preparation. You want to be prepared for when the opportunity presents itself. So take this time to chime in and mold the future of this course. If there's anything that you want to learn, let me know. Also, a huge shout out to Alina for reaching out to me and really coming up with an amazing module idea on trend trading. For those of you who love trend trades, you guys are going to thank Alina very, very soon for that. So yeah, with this, guys, take some time, chime in, okay? Also, the early bird discount is still on. You can still become an early bird, okay? It's a 50% off the original price. So instead of $4.99, you guys get it for $2.49 only. Once again, lifetime access, and you guys get to shape the future of the program. So take advantage of it while you can. I will be linking it down below. You can find it on the mangoway.com/sprouts. Alrighty, so with that, let's jump into Bitcoin. Now, I want to first start off with the 4-day time frame, okay? And why the 4-day time frame? Because in the last video, guys, I told you guys that, hey, October 12th is going to be an important open. And why was that? Because on October 12th, we open a brand new 4-day candle, right? And the 4-day time frame is the Mango time frame, but we were looking for something in particular, and we were looking for price, a close, over the Mango dynamic indicator. That's been keeping us on the right side of Bitcoin. Is it bullish or is it bearish? But now question is, where did we close relative to the dynamic support? And we lost it. Okay, so we lost dynamic support. And this is why I always tell you guys to wait on confirmation. And what is confirmation? 2 clear consecutive candle closes over a region of resistance. That is confirmation over resistance. Only then can you see that, hey, resistance has now flipped into support. All right, but now what we had here was one close over the dynamic, only for this previous 4-day candle to close well underneath the dynamic support. Okay, so now not only did we lose dynamic support, but in addition to that, we have given back all gains that were made in the past 8 days. This was a very, very bearish close. That dynamic level was that key level that we lost. But now question is, will price dump even further from here? Right, all the way down to $20,000, which, by the way, guys, is still going to be a good minus 20% to the downside. That's going to be a lot. Well, here's the thing. I do believe that the bulls still have one last line of defense before the floodgates open up. Or should I say bloodgates open up? Yes, but one last line of defense. And what is that? Well, get on over to your weekly time frame. Keep your dynamic indicator on, though. Where is price sitting at relative to dynamic support? Guys, we're currently sitting smack on that region. And that's why I said earlier in this video that if the bulls have to step in, they gotta step in here. Okay, at that dynamic level, because if there's any indicator that's been keeping us on the right side of the market, okay, throughout the cycles, it essentially tells us when Bitcoin is bullish, when Bitcoin is bearish, when is it a good time to start taking your profits off the table, when is it a good time to start considering getting your long-term positions in on Bitcoin. It's the dynamic indicator that has helped us with those decisions. Okay, now once again, guys, notice how when we did take out dynamic resistance, this was back in Jan of this year, that's when we actually rallied all the way up to $30,000. That's what helped us even check our biases. Hell, this was the banking crisis. You see this wick right here? Remember that banking crisis that took place on my frigging birthday? All hell broke loose and I had to stay at home and just, watch my positions? Well, that was my banking crisis, but how did that candle close relative to the dynamic indicator? It closed above. All right, keeping our biases tilting bullish. And what happened right after that? What was the week after that? That next weekly candle, guys, was a good, 26% to the upside. But this keeps us on the right side of the market. And so far, price is still holding that as support. Now, for those of you who want to take note of these levels, this is the zone, by the way, that we're looking for the bulls to defend. Make no mistake, this is the zone. For those of you who want to take note of the levels, the dynamic zone comes in from around $27,065 going all the way down to $26,379. Now, of course, guys, the levels on the dynamic indicator change as we have new information on here. So if you want to stay up to date with these changing levels, make sure you're hitting the sub and the bell icon, because I will be bringing this up in every Bitcoin analysis video that I publish. Alrighty. So now this is the zone that we're looking for the Bitcoin bulls to defend. But in addition, guys, to this being, dynamic cloud support, what else were we looking at on the weekly time frame? Well, we were looking at the Ichimoku cloud. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And where are we relative to the Ichimoku cloud? And for now, notice how price is hovering slightly underneath the cloud level, right? So, and that's what I'm saying. This picture right now is bearish. The bulls have to step in. They gotta step in right here. Because if we close underneath that cloud level, what really gets activated? What really comes to the forefront? Well, it's that C-span trade from the Tenkin going all the way down to the Kijun. The Kijun, guys, comes in only at around 23.6K. From where price is at right now to 26.3K, that's going to be a good 12% to the downside. So here's the play. If price closes underneath that weekly dynamic cloud, okay, which the bottom threshold comes in at around 26.4K. If we get closes underneath 26.4K, only then can we really expect to move all the way down to the Kijun, coming in at around 23.7K. Okay, but I'll say this. If price gets down to 23.7K, we are at risk of falling even further. And why is that? Because there's a very, very apparent pattern, and we've been talking about this in the Discord chat, but there's a very apparent pattern, and because of how obvious it is, I feel like it always gets robbed from its technical importance. But you gotta call it for what it is, right? Now, for those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, here it is. Okay, I'm sure everyone's sort of spotted it out by now, but we have a very bearish head and shoulders pattern right in front of us. Okay, now I think we've all technically been looking at this pattern, right? But because it's so textbook-like, you're just like, what are the chances of that actually playing out? And oftentimes it's those big patterns that people often dismiss that have a really, really good chance of playing out. Now, I'm not seeing a lot of people really talk about the pattern. And I figured, hey, you know what? Because I haven't brought it up to your attention all this while, let me just put it out there just so you know what sort of technical weakness we are looking at on Bitcoin's chart. But price getting down to 23.6K, which is a dotted line on my chart, effectively breaks the neckline of that very bearish head and shoulders, very neat textbook-like pattern. And if I have to take the measured move of the pattern, okay, and plot it on the break, the potential break, where will this take Bitcoin down to? We actually drop even lower than 20K according to the measured move. Okay, but of course I'll be gunning for 20K first, psychological support, and only then will I look for the measured move to, well, be fulfilled at around $19,437. That is going to be the measured move of the head and shoulders pattern. But this could at the very least give additional support to the thesis of, hey, price could actually fall further from here if we get all the way down to 23.6K. I believe what price is sitting on right now, just us sitting on weekly dynamic, is that trade zone. However, whether you're going long on Bitcoin right here or you're looking to short Bitcoin, I'm saying manage those trades off of those dynamic levels. Okay, that's likely going to keep you on the right side of, well, your trade. So yeah, just a quick heads up on this, but these are the critical levels that I'm going to be looking at right now. All right, if price breaks dynamic support, that's when I'll be looking for further continuation to the downside. Now, for those of you wondering, what the hell is happening? Why is Bitcoin even dumping? Guys, honestly, globalization is dying in front of your eyes right now. We're living in a very, very turbulent time. The fact that we have 2 ongoing wars, and the thing is that when it comes to wars and the escalation of events, it's very difficult to price things in on these charts, right? So that's one thing that I'm going to ask those of you trading on leverage, especially high leverage, to keep at the back of your head. Okay, make sure you always have that in your purview when adjusting your leverage levers. So now as things stand, there could be a lot of macroeconomic gyrations that could contribute to added volatility across the board. So I'm not just talking about Bitcoin as an asset, I'm talking about assets across the board. So if you're someone trading on leverage and that to high leverage, make sure you always are aware of that, what's happening in the world right now. Now, if you guys want to get a good view on, okay, what's happening in terms of macro landscape, how is that going to affect Bitcoin? Well, I suggest checking out Sean's video from a couple of days ago where he goes over the most important things that you ought to be looking at as a trader, okay, especially the macro things. He talks about the dollar strength, US oil, and well, bond yields. So I'll be linking that above and at the end cards. Okay, so definitely go and check that out if you want to have a good sort of holistic view on the market right now. Now, this is technically all I have for you guys today. So all you guys need to, well, keep your eyes on right now are those dynamic levels. We're looking for weekly closes underneath these levels to give us the next bearish tilt. All right, for those of you trading the zone, I'd say manage your trades off of these levels. Risk management first. You got to know how to be a good loser if you're looking to preserve your capital for the next big conviction trade that you find. Alrighty, now I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, smash the like button, and I will see you guys in the next update. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.